Hello, friends. We're going to be talking about how incompetent, negligent, and irresponsible some of these cuts they're making are. Let's get right into it.
Employees are bracing for more layoffs this very morning, with new questions about the impact on the IRS, the height of the tax season. NBC News White House correspondent Aaron Gilchrist brings us the latest.
Air Force One buzzing the Daytona Speedway just before President Trump took his ultra-armored car, the Beast, for a lap around the track at the Daytona 500 and telling NASCAR fans the country is doing well.
We brought it back, and it's been less than 4 weeks. So you'll see what we do in a little period of time. It's going to only get better.
His Raceway message coming on the heels of his promise to save the nation money by continuing to slash the federal workforce. With tax season in full swing, social media flooded with fears about tax return chaos and delays if thousands of IRS employees are fired.
I feel bad for all of us hardworking people may not get our taxes filed in time.
We're in the middle of the tax.
New Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent telling Bloomberg News earlier this month, IRS employees can't take the president's buyout offer during tax season.
They're not eligible for that until May 15th. So I don't imagine anything's going to go on at the IRS until then or beyond.
President Trump last week responding to a question about closing the IRS.
No, I don't expect it, but I think that the Internal Revenue Service will be looked at like everybody else.
NBC News has obtained a termination letter sent to dozens of probationary workers at the Transportation Department saying they were fired for poor performance, despite most being rated exceptional. They join a growing list of fired employees, like once furloughed, now fired lawyer Kate Royce.
So when you got that email, what went through your mind?
So I think my first emotion was grief, quickly followed by anger. I'm worried about paying rent in March. I'm worried about getting the health care that I need.
That was NBC's Aaron Gilchrist with that report. We should add to that the Washington Post reporting last night that Musk and his Doge team in the IRS may be getting access to sensitive taxpayer data. So, Reverend Al Sharpton, there's an extraordinary amount of cuts that have already happened. More.
All right, friends, let's get right into these cuts, how irresponsible they are. I understand some of you guys voted for a wrecking ball, but you need to be responsible. You gotta think about the average person, how they can be affected. So you want to be responsible when you're using your wrecking ball. You just don't want to be willy-nilly and negligent in the way you do things. It affects the everyday person's life. Everyone's not a billionaire like Elon and supposedly Donald Trump is, which is incredible to me. This guy keeps asking for your money and you keep giving it to him. Why? Some of you guys who are living in trailers, nothing against anyone living in trailers, but this goes to the point even more. Why would you give a guy who's a billionaire your hard-earned little money? Number one. Number two. Number three. I mean, why would he even ask for it if he's a billionaire? Especially when he knows the situation that some of you are in shows he just doesn't care. Especially to pay for his campaign and to pay for his legal issues. And you gave him money. A billionaire. Just think about that. Just think about that for a little while. How much sense that doesn't make. But anyway, IRS season. Refunds are coming up. Some refunds, some people, it's probably a good thing because you may have to pay. So, like I have to pay. So you may want, a little disarray going on during tax season. But when it first started, on the first day when they did these things, they didn't think about, the people with Medicaid and the regular low-income people who need those checks. And they couldn't get into their accounts. How dangerous and negligent and irresponsible that was. And all you poor farmers that voted for this man didn't think about, how that would affect them. Probably didn't care. I'm pretty sure they don't care. He and Elon and his band of miscreants. They could care less. But there's consequences when you're irresponsible. You're not really aware of what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. You either don't care or you have no idea what you're doing, which is even worse. And the right is telling you how this is okay. If you're only listening to the right, this is great. This is awesome. They're getting in there, they're tearing things up. Never minding how it affects the everyday person. Social Security benefits, all these things have been affected by these moves. And by the way, eggs are even higher. Everything's higher. Gas, everything. None of this came down. That's supposed to be day one. It's been a couple months now. I could go on and on and on, but you have an idea of what I'm talking about. There's a way to do things the proper way, where it's not hurting the average everyday person. And if you want to cut most of these things that they're cutting, do it in a proper, reasonable way. Take your time with it, so people's lives won't be upended just like that. But the bigger problem is, I'm not even sure they knew what they were doing. So either they didn't know what they were affecting. Either way, it's not good. You're either incompetent or evil. I'm thinking probably both. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.